Feel the body breathing. Opening the heart to friendliness, warmth, kindness. And then bringing forth the image in front of you of someone you know in your life who's experiencing significant suffering at this time. And if you don't know someone personally, you may think of suffering that's going on in the world right now and imagining somebody experiencing that. But it's best if you have somebody who you know and you care about. So just bring forth the image of them. Feel the nature of their suffering, that there is suffering there. Allowing the heart to open to receiving the truth that there is suffering. And then feeling this natural response of caring. We care about this person's suffering. And the movement of the heart to wishing for the suffering to ease. And then a phrase that supports that. May your pain and suffering ease. I see your suffering, and my natural response, because I care, is to wish for your suffering to ease and even to end. And saying that phrase or another phrase that fits you better as you image this suffering person in front of you. And you may be a visualizer or you may be a feeler. Whatever you are, sensing them in front of you. May your pain and suffering ease and come to an end. And then continuing to say that on your own. And now letting this person dissolve into space. Taking a few breaths. And then coming toward your own suffering. It may be something very straightforward right now, like a discomfort in the body or some difficult emotion, tiredness, agitation. That's one possibility. Another is some suffering that you're holding long term, that's more with you on a long-term basis. But choose the target for your own suffering. Allow it to arise into the field of your attention. And then making the same wish for ourselves. We see the suffering. It's truly there. We accept it. And we wish for it to ease and come to an end. Allowing the heart to open to care for it ourselves and wish for this freedom. May this pain and suffering ease and come to an end. Continue to say those phrases on your own for your own suffering. And now, letting go of that and bringing forth in front of us the image of someone who served as a benefactor, someone who we know has cared for us, has been able to see us clearly, and wishes us well. and someone who we have these same kind of feelings for. And now know that this person also has suffering. We may not know what it is. We may not know them that well, since we may more have been on the receiving end of their care. But we know because they're human, they have some form of suffering. And then we make this same wish for them. May your pain and suffering ease and come to an end. And then allowing the benefactor to dissolve into space and bringing forth the image of a dear friend, somebody who you really mostly like. They don't have to be perfect, but you generally would enjoy being with them. So because they're a dear friend, you may know their suffering fairly intimately, at least some aspect of it, and you care about them. And make this same wish for them. I see your suffering. It is real. May it ease and come to an end. And continue to say that for your friend on your own. And now letting the dear friend dissolve into space. Taking a few breaths. And then bringing forth the image of a neutral person, a familiar stranger, someone who you see regularly because they're part of your world, in the sense that you might meet them on the street, in your office building, at the grocery store, in one of the communities you belong to, but you have no personal relationship with them. You don't know anything about them other than what you probably make up in your own mind. And you don't have a strong feeling of like or dislike for them. So choose somebody in that category. And then make this same wish for them. Because they're human, they have some suffering. You don't know what it is, don't know anything about the details. But you know they must have some suffering. May your suffering ease and come to an end. And now letting the neutral person dissolve into space. Taking a few breaths. And the next category is the difficult person. And it's recommended to take a not too difficult, not the most difficult person in your life. But this is someone you'd probably rather not be around. There might be a tinge of dislike or a lot of dislike. And so bringing their image before you, and then making the same wish for them, because it's usually obvious that they're suffering when there's this kind of difficulty. There's suffering in us, but often there's something in the other person that helps to stimulate suffering in others. So making this same wish for them. May your suffering be eased and come to an end. Continuing to say those phrases on our own. May your suffering be eased and come to an end. And now letting the difficult person dissolve into space. And then, this is a little bit non-traditional, coming back to our own suffering. Our suffering around the difficult person. Is there something left in us that we can feel in our body, some emotion, maybe some thoughts, attitudes, beliefs that causes us to suffer in relationship to this person? Feeling what's left in us. And this is a breathing practice. So we feel the suffering and we open to accept it through the breath. So breathing in the suffering with an in-breath. And if you're visual, you might want to imagine the suffering as a black, tarry smoke. And then allowing light and care. Let the black, tarry smoke move through the heart or wherever you experience warmth and care. And breathe out warmth and care. So continue with your own breathing, breathing in the suffering, your own suffering, and breathing out love. And now letting go of this breathing practice and then radiating compassion, care for suffering of beings all around you, including all beings throughout the world, this same care, the wish for beings to be free of suffering, radiating all around yourself, filling your whole room that you're in. And you can say the phrases if it's helpful to you. May all beings be free of pain and suffering.